What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Sammy's Place. I am Sammae. My apologies for the short hiatus. I've been kind of settling in here, getting my studio ready, trying to work on some things too to provide better quality content. So, all in time. Hopefully by the summer I'll be all done and ready to go. But today I thought I'd discuss Tweet's debut album, Southern Hummingbird. It recently celebrated its 20th anniversary. April 2nd, 2002 was when it was released, led by the lead single, Oops Oh My, which everybody's familiar with, probably what Tweet is best known for, featuring Missy Elliott and produced by Timbaland. And then, of course, included the second single, Call Me, and all the other greatness on that album. Oops On Mine reached number 7 on Billboard Hot 100, which is like really impressive for R&B to get that high in the charts on the Hot 100. It reached number 1 on Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs. The song you cannot escape during that time. It was literally fucking everywhere. For an R&B song like this to be played on mainstream channels, like especially here in Canada, like Much Music, was a huge thing. It was all over MTV, it was all over BET, it was all over our radio stations. And here it's pretty, our radio station shit here, mind you. Okay, so for songs to be played like that, but then again, honestly, R&B was kind of popping back then in like 2000, 2001, and especially 2002, and then 2003. R&B was kind of in lead that time, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, so Tweet was originally in a group called Sugar. I think she was working with Missy and Tim at the time. It went nowhere. She went back home to her parents. She was contemplating suicide and was pretty much there, about to take her life. And then she received a phone call from Missy Elliott. They got in the studio, and then we got this masterpiece of an album. I was late on the album though. Oops Oh My, obviously I was familiar with. Everybody was. Call Me, again, being played. The video, sexy as fuck. Really dope fucking beat. Signature sound from Tim. I didn't really get to check the album out until my friend was the one that had the album. She came over, she brought it, and I listened to it. It didn't really do much for me at first. Now, mind you, a lot of these albums that are like classics to me and that are personal favorites of mine, I originally didn't really like at first. It took time for it to grow on me. Tweet's Southern Hummingbird was one of those albums. The first listen, I was looking for more hype beats, especially at that time. I think it was like 12, 13. I was looking for more like upbeat, Oops Oh My, Call Me type of shit. The only one that really stood out was Boogie Tonight, which I learned later on was a fucking, almost like a single, or was a single, along with Smoking Cigarettes. They shot videos or a video that consisted of both Boogie Tonight and Smoking Cigarettes. From my understanding, they even shot it here in Canada. Little X was the director, and it never got released. They pulled the plug on it. The label did. Why, I don't know. Smoking Cigarettes is such a smooth track. Boogie Tonight, from what I just heard recently, Boogie Tonight was supposed to be the opening, and then it was supposed to like blend into Smoking Cigarettes. Why they pulled the plug on that, I don't fucking know. Tweet posted some like video clips of the video, and it looked dope. So as to why they pulled the plug on it, I don't know. But anyways, but within time, like after listening to that album a lot, My Place became a huge favorite of mine. Not only that, but the opening of the entire album, the intro, a nice way to kind of just, it created this atmosphere for you of what you're about to listen to. And that was really an experience. Tweet's debut album, Southern Hummingbird, was an experience. I don't know, it made you feel comfortable. Like it made you feel like, you could just sit down and you can just have a few drinks. I smoked the fuck out of shit to this album a lot. I lay there and I smoke and it just relaxes me. It's such a pleasant vibe. Mellow. That's literally what it is. Your Best Friend with Bilal, another fucking great song. That entire album was really well done. And I was watching this thing with Tweet, and she explained how Oops Oh My came about. She was in the car with Missy one day, and they were playing a bunch of beats on a CD that Missy and Tim were working on or whatever. Oops Oh My came on, which wasn't Oops Oh My then, but then Tweet started singing these lyrics that she was working on. Missy was like, oh, I like that. Let's get in the studio tonight. They recorded the bitch, and then fucking became her biggest hit. I think Tweet said she wasn't really a fan of the song, but it was more so just because Missy said to do it that she did it. So the album wrapped up. They needed another type of upbeat banger, and Call Me came about. Missy wrote that, I believe, and Tweet worked her way around in ways. Thank God Missy really does know what she's doing. At the time anyways, it's unfortunate that she's had really bad luck with her artists and their runner things, but at least with Tweet we got that album and the other one after It's Me Again. But it's funny because what we wanted, what we liked of Tweet, the label wanted less of. Like we got introduced to Tweet with Oops Oh My and shit, but then when you listen to the album, Oops Oh My was pretty much just like the last track that you would listen to, when all the other stuff, like all the shit with the guitar and was it Motel and Beautiful and Complain is another fucking really nice favorite of mine. And what's that other one? Heaven and Drunk. All this shit, it really showcased what Tweet was capable of lyrically and musically. And it was way beyond just the Oops Oh My. Like that was just a little piece of what she can do. The second album, I remember hearing that she said that she was working on more songs like that, you know, like Small Change and shit like that. But then the label, or it was Missy, wanted to push for more of the songs that I personally had no interest in. I think it was like You and all this other shit that she was trying to get a little bit more like club stuff out, but it didn't work for me. I wanted more of the fucking guitar shit that Tweet originally had. Again, that album is really great, but those songs were kind of like a skip. But the songs that Tweet wanted, they should have stayed. It should have stayed more of that vibe, honestly. And Tweet's just one of those artists, yo. Like, you listen to her unreleased stuff, and it's just so fucking good. It's just as good as the albums, if not even better. And Tweet never disappoints. She's put out quite a few albums, solid projects from beginning to end, especially on her own. I think Charlene was the one. And there was that unreleased one, Love Tweet, I think it was called. Tweet's magical in my opinion. She's one of those artists that you could just, she doesn't do too much, but she does a lot more, if that makes sense. Less is more in this sense, and that's exactly what Tweet is. Anyways, this is one of my favorite albums. A lot of people love this album, and for obvious reasons. It just stands out from beginning to end, and what a nice introduction to an artist. Like, this was what we got, a first impression of who Tweet is as an artist, and there was no one like Tweet. She sings on any song, even just in the background doing her fucking oohs and ahs or hums or whatever the fuck. You can tell it's Tweet. She has a sound to her, a signature sound to her that no one else can ever fucking do. I've never known of another artist to do what Tweet does. And I'm so happy I didn't miss out on this album. I almost did. As I say all the fucking time, I still listen to this album. A lot of these albums, all these albums, which is why I'm talking about them, is because I'm still talking about them to this day. I still listen to them to this day. They make quite an impact in my life. And I know a lot of others too that feel the same love for these albums.